Welcome to the Perrysburg Podcast, episode 53. I'm your host and Perrysburg resident, Kim Newlove. This is an informational podcast for prospective, new, and current Perrysburg, Ohio residents. We talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. You can find the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. This is the first episode in the food and drink series. This is the episode that inspired the series. I thought about just making an episode about ice cream, but then I thought, well, I want to cover coffee shops, restaurants, and all the like, so I'll just make this ice cream shop episode 1, in a 7-part series. I will be publishing one episode per month until January of 2025. Episode 7 will come out in January 2025. We are talking about ice cream shops today. What a happy topic. If you like ice cream, you are going to love this episode. I'll start with a list of 7 ice cream shops here in Perrysburg, and then I will name 6 honorable mentions. The list of 7 ice cream shops is organized by Google reviews and star ratings, and we will go from 7th place on up to 1st place. 5 stars is the best rating available, best rating possible, and all 7 shops have plenty of reviews that have served as tiebreakers for the rankings. Yes, there have been some ties. Now, who's on the list and how did they rank? 6 shops are located in the City of Perrysburg, and 1 is located in Perrysburg Township, and they are in 7th place with 4.3 stars and 159 Google reviews is Lola's Frozen Yogurt on North Dixie Highway. That is in the City of Perrysburg. Lola's is open year-round, and they have soft-serve frozen yogurt and hand-dipped ice cream. When they first opened, to my memory, I don't think they had the hand-dipped ice cream, but now they do. So at first it was just the soft-serve frozen yogurt. You help yourself, you get a cup, you put your yogurt in there, or they give you your hand-dipped ice cream, and then you get toppings. Now, toppings are available at Lola's and, of course, all the shops on the list as well. I think even Taste of Heaven at Levis Commons has them. The great thing about Lola's, though, is that you get to put the toppings on yourself. You can put as much in your cup as you want. The downside is that you have to pay for it. They charge you by the ounce. That does it for Lola's in 7th place. Let's move on to 6th place. In 6th place with 4.3 stars and 404 reviews is Rudy's Dairy Depot on Oregon Road in Perrysburg Township. This is the only ice cream shop that I could find in the township, Perrysburg Township. This is on the east side. Rudy's Dairy Depot is open year-round, and they have a drive-through. On the menu, you will find possibly the largest soft-serve sundaes in Perrysburg. Plus, they also have milkshakes, soft-serve vanilla and chocolate ice cream cones, and more. I have only been to Rudy's Dairy Depot once. I got the turtle sundae. It was very big and very tasty. I am a huge fan of trains. I am a girl who likes trains, and they have a beautiful train mural in the back of the building. So, not inside the building, but in the back behind the building. Check it out when you go. That does it for Rudy's Dairy Depot in 6th place. Now let's go to 5th place. In 5th place with 4.5 stars and 150 reviews is Taste of Heaven Chocolates on Chapel Drive in Levis Commons Shopping Center. This shop is opened year-round, and they have hand-dipped gelato. Gelato is Italian ice cream. To my knowledge, this is the only ice cream shop in Perrysburg with gelato. I've been to Taste of Heaven Chocolates one time, and I loved it. This shop also sells chocolates, so I bought some chocolates while I was there as well. If you like chocolates and gelato, this is the place for you. Check out Taste of Heaven Chocolates on Chapel Drive at Levis Commons. They are opened year-round. That does it for 5th place, Taste of Heaven Chocolates at Levis Commons. Let's move on to 4th place. In 4th place with 4.5 stars and 280 Google reviews is Twisty Treat. Twisty Treat is located on West Boundary Street. That is basically an extension of North Dixie Highway. Somewhere between Church Hills and the Perrysburg Maumee Bridge, you will find Twisty Treat. It is a white and blue striped building. This shop opens every spring and closes in the fall. It's always sad when it closes because it means summer's over. Twisty Treat happens to be my personal favorite. And what's my favorite item? It is the Cappuccino Crunch Sundae. What is a Cappuccino Crunch Sundae, you're probably wondering? It is coffee-flavored ice cream, caramel syrup, and chocolate flakes. Yum. I love that. And by the way, I say caramel even though it's caramel. That's just my thing. Now, Twisty Treat has hand-dipped ice cream, so you can get the hard ice cream, but they also have soft serve ice cream, vanilla and chocolate. They've got milkshakes, they've got sundaes, and so much more. My mom sometimes goes there after a haircut and gets a Roots chicken sandwich. So you can get real food there too. Meals, that is. All right. One thing that you should know about Twisty Treat is they give out punch cards for ice cream. I believe if you get 6 punches, then you get something for free or a discount on your next purchase. I do like that. That is the only ice cream shop in town that does that I know of. And just FYI, I go on Wednesdays typically because it's double punch day. I get my free stuff a little quicker. And like Rudy's Dairy Depot, Twisty Treat also has a drive-thru. That does it for 4th place, which is Twisty Treat. Let's move on to 3rd place. Who's 3rd place? It is Nedley's. Nedley's is also known as Hershey's ice cream. Why is it also known as Hershey's ice cream? Because it says Hershey's ice cream on the building. The business is called Nedley's, but the front of the building says Hershey's ice cream. It has 4.5 stars and 290 reviews. Nedley's is on East Boundary Street, and it's in the same shopping center as Gathering Volumes Bookstore. Nedley's sells hand-dipped ice cream and soft-serve ice cream. They sell sundaes, milkshakes, fancy coffees, cookies, and more. They even sell ice cream cakes and ice cream pies. Check out their freezer. They always have something delicious looking in there. My favorite thing to buy at Nedley's is the hand-dipped ice cream. They have a flavor that I have never found anywhere else. It is called Cappuccino Crunch. I like a scoop of Cappuccino Crunch in a cup with a scoop of plain vanilla on top. It's like I'm making a cup of coffee. Cappuccino Crunch on the bottom and vanilla on the top. It tastes like a frozen ice cream treat, and I love it. That does it for Nedley's. Let's move on to 2nd place. In 2nd place is the Oh Dear Diner on Louisiana Avenue with 4.6 stars and 237 reviews. They just might have the very best tasting soft serve ice cream here in Perrysburg. I like their sundaes, but a plain soft serve vanilla cone is my very favorite most dessert item at the Oh Dear Diner. By the way, the Oh Dear Diner also sells meals, and their hot dog with sauerkraut and mustard is my very favorite non-ice cream treat on the menu. I love a good hot dog with sauerkraut. Oh Dear Diner is a seasonal shop, and they do not have a drive-thru. They close in the fall, and then they reopen in the spring. Oh Dear Diner is also mentioned in episode 9 of the Perrysburg podcast. That episode was about the Oh Dear Diner and the Friday night car shows. Friday night car shows are going on now. They start every Friday at 5 at this point. We are in July. Come see a Friday night car show and visit the Oh Dear Diner. The car show's right across the street from the diner in the Commodore Schoolyard. That does it for 2nd place and the Oh Dear Diner. Who's in 1st place? Mr. Freeze on West South Boundary Street with 4.8 stars and 1,400 reviews. Congratulations, Mr. Freeze. My favorite thing on the menu at Mr. Freeze is the turtle sundae with peanut butter cups on top. That is not an official menu item. It is just how I like my turtle sundae. A turtle sundae, if you live out of town and you don't know what that is, it is vanilla soft serve ice cream, caramel sauce, chocolate sauce, salted pecan pieces, and then, like I said, I do my own thing and I get peanut butter cups on top. peanut butter cups on top. That's just how I like mine. Mr. Freeze sells mostly soft serve ice cream treats. They've got cones, they've got cups, they've got toppings, they've got sundaes, they've got milkshakes, and all the like. It is open seasonally, and if the weather is nice, the line may be long. They usually have 3 to 4 windows open at all times, taking orders and fulfilling them. So the wait time isn't always as long as it looks. Just heads up on that. Waiting 20 minutes is pretty normal when I visit, so just heads up. Be prepared to wait and also bring cash. Last I heard, cash is still king at Mr. Freeze, and they don't accept credit cards. Now that you know, come prepared with cash and be prepared to wait 20 minutes for your treat. Just a few more comments about Mr. Freeze, and then I will move on to the honorable mentions list. Now, this is going to seem like a no-brainer, but I want to say that there's a junior high school just down the street from Mr. Freeze, so you will see the junior high students there after school when the weather's nice. So they get out of school, I think, between 2:30 and 2:45. So if you're looking for a not-so-busy time to go to Mr. Freeze, be careful. The junior high kids, Monday through Friday, they go to Mr. Freeze after school. And you will probably see the high school track athletes there after practice. March through May, they get pretty busy. They go to Mr. Freeze after practice. You will see softball and baseball teams in their uniforms, all lined up to go to Mr. Freeze. It is kind of like a treat if your team wins or it's the end of the season. It's really cool to see them. My husband used to coach youth baseball here in Perrysburg, PABSC, and he would take his team to Mr. Freeze in their uniforms. I have some really good memories and some pictures of the kids in their uniforms standing next to the Mr. Freeze sign. If you're a coach or you're part of a team, make those memories. Take your picture with the Mr. Freeze sign. Now, I raised my kids here in Perrysburg, and we have various pictures of them through various stages of their lives when they were little kids and now that they're adults, standing next to the Mr. Freeze sign. So if you're a parent and you like to look back at all those summer memories, get a picture with the Mr. Freeze sign. Last comments here. Mr. Freeze is an old-fashioned walk-up window-style ice cream place, and it is a fixture here in Perrysburg. It seems like everybody goes here at least once per summer. There is a park with a playground behind Mr. Freeze. It is called Eisenhower Park, and I'll actually be publishing an episode about Eisenhower Park next week on August 2nd, 2024. That does it for my list of 7 ice cream shops in Perrysburg. Again, they are Mr. Freeze, Oh Dear Diner, Nedley's, Twisty Treat, Taste of Heaven, Rudy's Dairy Depot, and Lola's. Did your favorite ice cream shop make the list? Was it Lola's, Rudy's, Taste of Heaven, Twisty Treat, Nedley's, Oh Dear Diner, or Mr. Freeze? Or did I miss one? Did I miss your favorite shop? Let me know. You can email me at kim@perrysburgpodcast.com. Before we move on to the honorable mentions, I just want to say that when I was doing my research for this episode, I tried to find a fair way to rank the 7 ice cream shops here in Perrysburg. I hope you'll agree that Google reviews and star ratings were a reasonable option. Lola's and Rudy's were tied for 7th place with 4.3 stars each, but Rudy's had more reviews. So Lola's took the 7th spot and Rudy's took the 6th spot. Taste of Heaven, Twisty Treat, and Nedley's all had 4.5 stars, but Nedley's had the most reviews among the 3, so that got the number 3 spot. Twisty Treat got the number 4 spot, and Taste of Heaven got number 5. Remember that ratings and reviews help visitors and people who are new to this area, so rate and review your favorite ice cream shop on Google today. Give them a star rating and mention your favorite treat. Next up, I would like to share a list of 6 honorable mentions. These are 6 local restaurants that have ice cream treats that I enjoy right here in Perrysburg. These are not known strictly as ice cream shops, but they do serve ice cream treats. I'll list them quickly first, then I'll tell you what I like to eat there. They are Odd Fodder, McDonald's, and Wendy's on North Dixie Highway, and Red Robin, Sonic, and Culver's on Route 20. Sonic and Red Robin on Route 20 are technically part of Rossford, I will admit that, but they're on the same stretch of road that belongs to Perrysburg, so I'm including them on my list of honorable mentions. If you've lived in Perrysburg for a while, you know that the boundary between Perrysburg and Rossford on Route 20 is a bit fuzzy. Odd Fodder has milkshakes and sundaes. I've only been there once, and it was back when the pandemic had recently started. I cannot remember what kind of sundae I had 4 years ago, but the next time my family goes there, I have looked at the menu and I would like to try the Bon Voyage. That is a flight of 4 different sundaes, and it costs $15.99 as I published this in July of 2024. Now, which 4 sundaes would I like to try? I will list all 4 here. They are number 1, the Buckeye Blast. Number 2, the Turtle Snap. I just want to snap my fingers when I say snap. The Turtle Snap. Number 3, Raspberry Delight. And number 4, Monkey Business. I like banana flavored ice cream just a little bit, so I want to try that one especially. Naturally, I will have to have my husband and our 2 adult sons with me because I cannot eat that much ice cream myself. But it sounds good. Next up, I love the classic vanilla soft serve cone at McDonald's. McDonald's brings back fond memories for me, fond memories of date nights with my then boyfriend, now husband, Nathan. We were dating back in the 90s. We met in 1993. I was a freshman in high school at Eastwood. He was a senior in high school at Eastwood. And we have been together ever since. And if I remember right, cones were like 25 cents back in the 90s. It was a good deal. And I felt special when he'd stop by when we were on a date and we'd go to McDonald's and he would buy me a vanilla ice cream cone. I felt special. So yeah, McDonald's made the list. Moving on to the third one so far, Wendy's. The peppermint frosty at Wendy's around Christmas time is a new personal favorite. I do not eat fast food very often, but if I can get one per season, I'm doing pretty good. That Wendy's peppermint frosty is rather Christmassy. I like it. Just 3 more honorable mentions, and then I will wrap this episode up. Red Robin has a great cookies and cream milkshake. I don't know if you've ever had this, but it is very chunky and you can taste the Oreos, and I like it that way. Red Robin cookies and cream milkshake. Sonic. I got to talk about Sonic and the vanilla milkshake. Holy cow. I have only had the vanilla milkshake once or twice, probably twice at Sonic, but that thing is memorable. The milkshake is so thick that I can't even drink it through a straw. I ain't no quitter, though. Don't ever change Sonic, by the way. Thick milkshakes are what I love about you. I just got back from a vacation in Canada. We went up through Windsor. So we went from Detroit to Windsor over the bridge there, Ambassador Bridge. We headed east. We went to Niagara Falls, Toronto. We went to Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada, and then Montreal. We went south to Vermont, visited the Golden Dog Farm, which was so much fun, and then headed back west to Ohio. While I was in Canada, I had 2 vanilla milkshakes. I splurged. It was a vacation, I'll admit it. The first vanilla milkshake was in Niagara Falls, and it was so runny, it tasted like a milk slushie. It was like milk. You could taste the consistency of milk, but it felt like it had ice chunks in it, like a slushie. Instead of being one of those like watermelon slushes that I got in the high school cafeteria back in the 90s, it was a milk slushie. It was not good. So I tried another milkshake in Ottawa. I was hoping Canada would redeem itself. Ottawa is the nation's capital city. It's Canada's capital city, Ottawa. So I thought, maybe they know how to do it right here. I don't know. Maybe it's like the source of Canadian milkshake culture. I don't know. But same deal. It tasted like a milk slushie. I thought the first one was a fluke. But then after I had the second one in Ottawa, there was a clear pattern. Now, Canadian milkshakes are either very different from American milkshakes, or I had 2 random bad experiences. I'm not sure. But Sonic's milkshakes are awesome. I plan to buy one this week now that I'm back in the United States because I need to have a good milkshake now that I'm back in the States. Thanks for listening to me talk about my milkshake woes in Canada. No disrespect intended to the people of Canada. I know I have at least one Canadian listener. Thank you for listening. Let's go to the last restaurant on my list of honorable mentions. It is Culver's. Culver's on Route 20 has frozen custard. I love frozen custard. I saved the best for last. I love Culver's. I did not grow up with Culver's, but we have a Culver's now, and their frozen custard is excellent. Years ago, Cedar Point had some amazing frozen vanilla custard, and I loved it. If they still sell it, I can't find it, and I miss it. They have replaced that custard stand with something else. Now, there's also excellent frozen custard at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan, but that's not exactly next door, and I rarely make it up there. So, Culver's opened on Route 20, and I felt like I hit the jackpot. They make amazing frozen custard, and they're only 10 minutes from my house. Their plain vanilla custard in a dish is tasty. That's my favorite thing. But I also like their vanilla peanut butter cup concrete mixer. To see the menu, head over to culvers.com. And if you've never been there for vanilla custard, just get it in a dish, try it. And the second time you go, get the concrete mixer with the vanilla base. I like chocolate too, but sometimes it's a little overpowering with the candy. That ends my list of 6 honorable mentions. Again, they are Odd Fodder, McDonald's, Wendy's, Red Robin, Sonic, and Culver's. They're not ranked in any particular order. However, I would say that the frozen custard there at Culver's is probably my favorite among the 6. I grouped them based on geography, by the way. Odd Fodder, the McDonald's I typically go to, and the Wendy's I typically go to are on North Dixie Highway. And then Red Robin, Sonic, and Culver's are on Route 20. That does it for episode 53 of the Perrysburg podcast. This has been the first episode in the Food and Drink series. If you're a prospective, new, or current Perrysburg, Ohio resident or a visitor, I hope you enjoyed hearing about ice cream shops and ice cream treats here in Perrysburg. Thank you for listening to episode 53 of the Perrysburg podcast. Please visit perrysburgpodcast.com to read the show notes. In the show notes, you will find links to the ice cream shops mentioned in this episode and a link to sign up for the newsletter for the Perrysburg podcast so I can email you each time a new episode of the Perrysburg podcast comes out. I've also got a link to the YouTube channel for the Perrysburg podcast, a link to episode 9, which again featured the Oh Dear Diner and the Friday night car shows. You'll also find my email address and more in the show notes. Everything you need is on perrysburgpodcast.com. You can also get your smartphone out right now and subscribe to or follow the Perrysburg podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube, and then each new episode will come right to your smartphone right when it comes out. Go ahead and share this episode with anyone you think might enjoy it. Maybe you've got a friend who likes ice cream and they live right here in Perrysburg. Please share this episode with them. Thanks for listening today. Get yourself some ice cream this weekend, and I will talk to you about Eisenhower Park next Friday.